Hey there, I'm Kane Rains and welcome back to my basement. We're continuing Animal August with another Animal Crossing set, that being KK's Concert at the Plaza. This is the biggest set we've looked at so far, and it is what I consider the town hall build of the Animal Crossing sets that I've got. I think that's what it's supposed to be. If it's not, I'm going to pretend it is because it's my set and my city and my Lego. But this one is a little more of a build than what we've seen before, whereas the others didn't get past 260 or so pieces. This one is 550, so it was around $60 originally. Roughly the last month, as of recording, a lot of Targets and Walmarts had stuff marked down. I don't think this one was there because it's been around a little longer, but I did get some of these Animal Crossing sets that I'd been hoping to find on sale, along with some other stuff. So I you you have Target and Walmart clearing their shelves for the next incoming wave of toys to thank for some of these reviews. But anyway, let's take a look at our minifigs and then the various builds of this set. And then we'll find a place in our town for it. All right? All right. All right, so the three minifigs we've got are Isabelle in sort of her fall look. There is another set I have that has her in her more standard look, but we'll get to that when we get to that. We've got KK Slider, who he's a hound dog. And then we've got Audie, who I believe is a fox based on her color and tail and all that. So there we go. As I said in a previous review of these Animal Crossing sets, most of them have a hole for accessories. Most of them are on the top, but because Isabelle has this bun, hers is on the side. If you look up pictures of the set, you'll actually see her with a yellow ribbon, but because she's already yellow, I thought that was kind of dumb. So I grabbed one of these pink flowers that I had from, I think it was from the Julian's birthday party set, because I had some extras from that, and I think that stands out a little better. It might not make sense for the fall, but they're all pieces of plastic. Anyway, also like what I mentioned in a previous set, she has foot printing, leg printing of a kind, and I think that is what I wish I saw more of. And I know because they're not all wearing pants, or not wearing pants in a way that's shown in the figures, it's not really necessary for that. But I do kind of wish the design we got with Isabelle here was a little more prevalent in the other figs. The other two don't have much beyond their head sculpts, although KK comes with the his guitar, and he does have a tail printed on the back. And he doesn't wear clothes anyway, or at least most of the time. I'm sure there's some instance where he's wearing clothes. But yeah, so that looks fine. And then Audie here, she's got the shirt, and I know in the game that would probably go down to her knees or whatever, but they have slightly different cartoony, video gamey, low poly proportions, which is why pretty much all of these characters use the short or medium legs. Oh, she also has the foxtail. The only one we've looked at so far this Animal August that didn't have short legs is Julian, and he is a kind of horse, and horses are kind of tall in the real world, so it makes sense why that's the case. It's not like it's neither here nor there really, but I think these three figures are fine. Isabelle and KK I think are a little better than Audie, but Isabelle is one of the more unique ones, and is one of the characters that most people know if they play like Smash Bros or Mario Kart, or a couple other or like Doom, when she was like, the internet decided she was going to be Doom Guy's best friend. And if I ever find a fake or a the right combination of pieces to make a good looking Doom Guy, I'm definitely gonna make her and him friends because I'm a slave to internet memery. So those are the minifigs. They're fine. Two of them are better than a third, in my opinion, but some of that comes to the fact that I think that the way they expressed the way a lot of the characters in the games dress, where the shirt, you don't really, not every character has pants, but they usually have a shirt that goes past their waist, since they can't do that without the cloth piece. And I guess they weren't willing to do that for every set or a lot of sets. They just have them with no pants. Again, it's not something everybody's going to notice, but it is kind of my continued annoyance with these figures. And I like them, I do, but the way I see minifigs is that if you can see the middle piece of their torso, what goes between the legs, then you're seeing between the legs. And I'm not trying to be gross, but that's just how I see minifigs, and how I think Lego sees it in most of their human figures, where that should be covered if it's not going to be printed with covering, if that makes any kind of sense. I don't know. Now that we've looked at the 3 minifigures, let's look at the various builds of this set. I guess there's 4 in a way, but some of them are more substantial than others. So let's go through them, starting, and we'll go from smallest to largest. So our smallest one is the stage, and while it doesn't come, well, I guess it kind of does come with one extra 2x4, but and you only really need one. So if you use that, or you just have two 2x4s laying around, you can easily connect this to the building itself, or at least the foundation of the building. But there's not much to see with the little stage. There is a very simple speaker, a place for KK to sit or stand while he's playing the blues like an old hound dog. What I'm going to call a record, and it's probably is a record. I'm probably just showing how little I know about the games, but we do have this nice printed tile of him in front of some trees, so it's very simplistic, but there's that. And then, of course, as you can see, there is a microphone stand. I think you could also, if you got rid of these 2 bits, you could just have the stage as a place with 2 benches. I don't know if they're supposed to be benches. If they are, it's awkward for a stage area, but it's fine. So that's the first little build. It's okay. You get what it's supposed to be, but it is, it's like 12 pieces. The next build is what I believe is supposed to be Audie's little dessert stand. She's kind of seen, well, she's seen holding one of the desserts, and again, they use that shell dessert dog poo piece. And I'm sorry if that's not what you want to think about when you see that piece, but it looks like dog poo. They've used it for dog poo. It might as well be. But they show her on the box holding that, so maybe that's what she does in game. I'm sorry for my lack of understanding, or well, lack of knowledge. I have basic understanding. But it's just a neat little build. Like, I don't necessarily think it needed to be across 2 base plates, or well, not base plates, 2 of these Mario plates. And part of that is because they're different colored, but if you're going to put the sign, then this is the way the instructions said to do it, on this side instead of, say, just like in front of it or something like that, then you're kind of saying to the builder, you need to do it this way because it's this bit obviously goes with this bit. So that kind of stifles the creativity a little bit when you tell them, this is like something that's supposed to be switchable. You're kind of saying, oh no, it should go like that. Even though, yeah, like I just showed you, you can easily move that piece. But I guess I'm probably thinking about it too hard. Then we've got one of these trees again. It's basically the same as the pink one we saw in the Julian birthday, where you can even, there we go. If you cut it down or whatever, you get the stick out of it, or piece of wood. Otherwise, it's just a recolor with different flowers, leaves, pieces on it. So this, I mean, it's more substantial than the stage, but I mean, there's not too much to say about it. Like, you can't put, I mean, I guess you could physically put a character behind it to man it, but there's no, like, specific place for that. It is just, you know, a square of pieces that you can put here. So that's, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. So this part I'm neutral on. Again, this is basically a side build. It's not the, it's still pretty small comparatively compared to what we've got with the remaining 2 bits, which let's move on to those. So the next one is KK's van. I hope he doesn't live down by the river like Leaf, but it's a he's got a camper top which pops off, and then you can open both sides up. Inside, he's got a piece of pizza and a drink. And I don't think he lives in the van the way Leaf does, or his camper, because there's no sink or anything in here. But you can, if you take his guitar away, you can either have him drive the car. Look at that dog go. Or, you know, very easily you could have him lay down. Although you probably still, I haven't actually put him in here before. Yeah, you have to put his stuff up. So, and have him laying down in it. So he can sleep here, but I don't think he lives in it the way Leaf does. So that's that. And then the camper top, it does open up, so you can toss his stuff in there. And then he'll be on the road again. So that's, and it's a fun little build. It's nothing like spectacular. There are better campers than this one, but this matches the aesthetic of the games that these sets are aiming for. And what I was happy to see when I got the pieces out was that these notes, which are on both sides, are printed. They are not stickers. You don't have to put anything in this set or any of the sets we've looked at so far. Like the cafe sign is not a sticker, the notes aren't a sticker, and none of the stuff on the actual building are stickers. So thank you, Lego, for not doing that, because a lot of the sets I like have a lot of, or big sets at least, have a lot of stickers. So now that we've looked at those, finally we get to the main part of the build itself. That being the, I guess, town hall. And what you got with the town hall here is what you're going to get with most of the buildings in these sets. They are just facades, and that's nothing new. That's not a Animal Crossing problem. It's not what I love. I prefer full buildings, and when I do have a set I like the Up House or the Despicable Me house, I have plans to extend those into a full building. I'm farther along with the Up House. I know exactly what I need to do to finish that one. The Despicable Me house is a bit more complicated, and I haven't had time to work on it. So anyway, so with this, you've got, and this pops off just like all the things on these bases do. You've got this notice board, and it has a little bit for KK, but, you know, somebody's birthday, which I'm going to assume is Julian's. And then just other random things, something about fishing and something about birds, it looks like. I mean, it's not meant to be scrutinized too importantly or too deeply. We've got a little lost and found box here with I'm going to go with boombox. This one I don't like as much as the radio we looked at in a previous set. Like, it almost looks like a bomb, honestly. Like someone tossed this in, and when it gets to the end of its tape, it's going to go off. I know that's not what it's supposed to be, but that's what it looks like to me. Maybe it just means I'm messed up in the head, but whatever. Then there's this flag piece, and you actually get the option of two. So there's this new leaf flag, which is what I'm going to stick with. But you also get this one, and I'm sure this is something from the games, but I don't know. I don't recognize it. And then what they do at the end of the instructions, because this is one of the last things you build, they do encourage the builder, to make your own flag design, whether you're using these pieces or the leaf one. Obviously, if you use the leaf, because this is a 2x4, 2x2 round piece, which again is not a sticker, you're a little more restricted, but I I applaud them for actually encouraging creativity outside of just the build. Like, I don't, if you're younger, on the younger side, they wouldn't give you instructions for it, but they used to put alternate build ideas in a lot of sets, and some of them would be crazy, but they would do that, and I kind of miss it. I don't need it. I don't get to the end of a set and have it built. It's like, I wonder what else I could do with this, because if I want to do something else with it, I have hands and a brain, but it's one of those fun little things that kind of died over time. But anyway, and then the clock at the top, which when I was building this, I'm like, well, they never made even though they've made Back to the Future sets, they never made the clock tower. Well, now I can just recreate the clock tower scene with the Animal Crossing set. That's probably what somebody had in mind. Anyway, inside you've got an ATM looking thing. I'm showing how little I know about some parts of this. And this mystery box, which you can open. It doesn't, they don't default to having anything in it, but you could put something in it. And then what I'm going to call a reception desk. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be, but you can put Isabel or whoever at it. And that's fine. I do, because a lot of the buildings are built on these Mario bases, I don't really love that they're such small facades, but most of these are not meant to be super expensive sets, even though this one was like $60 originally. They're following a theme and a general build pattern, and I can't really fault them for that, given what they're trying to imitate. I personally would like it if the buildings were at least deeper, if not full buildings. But, I knew what I was getting into when I started looking at these sets to buy and hoard, as one does. So I definitely don't really think it's like a $60 set the way it initially was, or how I think it was around 60. It might have been higher, but I don't hate it. It's one of those where if they dropped some stuff like the side builds, or at least I wouldn't get rid of the car. I think that's a fun car, and I'm usually not the biggest vehicle person, because they've got so many sets that are vehicles or have a vehicle or whatever, that I'm just like, I don't need any more. But I appreciate this one for what it is. The rest of the set is fine. I like the minifigs. Even though Audie isn't anything special to me, because I don't really recognize that version of the character, I'm fine having another little fox. She can be Tails' aunt or whatever when I get to the Sonic sets, since they're never gonna make a Sally minifig. If anyone watching this has access to alternate reality technology and wants to find me a reality where they make SatAM/Archie minifigs, do that for me, because the one company that was making the Chinese company that was making fake Sonic minifigs stopped making Sonic minifigs, and that makes me sad, even though I have pretty much almost all the Sonic sets. They were making figures that I kind of doubt Lego's ever going to do. And I don't, I, I guess here's my quick aside, because you've probably noticed, I think I might have said something before, you might have noticed some of the figures that have just been kind of in my city. While I prefer real Lego, when there's a character that I know they're not going to make, I am willing to spend $1 or two. Usually not a lot, but if there's a character that I like that I know they're not going to make a minifig of or a set of or whatever, then I'm willing to get a fake minifig or 50. I have more than I realized when I was organizing my stuff, but I don't know how I got off on this tangent. You can rewind and tell me how I got off on this tangent, because I don't feel like figuring it out. Anyway, here is the KK's concert at the Plaza. I like it. I don't think it should have been quite what it is. If they had reduced it a little bit, I think get it down closer to like $50. I think that would have been better. Or if it's going to be at this price point, still reduce its, side builds and do something to make the building a little more substantial. You're probably going to hear me say that a bit more as we get into these other sets that are buildings and such. But I mean, if it's a complaint I've got, even though I understand that it's the building philosophy, which I think is somehow how I got on that tangent earlier. I don't want to think about it, but yeah, so it's fine. I'm glad I got it for whatever sale I did. This one doesn't have the sticker on it, so I don't remember how much it was, but it's not a $60 to $70 set for me. That's my takeaway. And if you feel differently about it, please let me know. But for now, I'm going to put it on the table and see how it looks. So let's do that. So here is where I've put the town plaza for now. And it's now Julian's birthday party is the whole concert. It's the whole reason for the season. Everybody's jamming out to KK's, I don't know, melodic tunes. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, for now, it's just kind of been put there. I do like the idea of the town hall being at the back there, but because it's not a full building, what I kind of plan to do, and this is based off what's going to go over here in this back corner, is I plan to build a mountain eventually. And it's going to be kind of a complex mountain because it's going to have a path and whatnot. But I think I'm going to build a less complex mountain backdrop here and put a lot of the buildings kind of built into it, or at least some of them, to kind of hide the fact that they are just facades. And if not, I'll figure something else out. Again, this little section is probably going to bleed into the plates that will eventually be over here. And that's fine because they're animals, and this is kind of bleeding into the park area of the neighborhood that I'm slowly putting together. So that is the way our first week of Animal August Lego sets have come together, with the plaza here, the birthday party here, and Leaf's caravan over here. As we get more, this setup will kind of shuffle more as other sets, especially the buildings, get plopped in here. So expect this to change. Expect it to go off the plate because I don't expect to buy them really quickly. I'm not in a rush for that bit. I think they're kind of overpriced, honestly. But anyway, let me know down below how you feel about the KK's concert at the Plaza set. Like I said in my earlier part of the review, I like it overall, but I do wish that they had used the piece count a little better, especially with the side build and the extent that there actually is a building. And I know I'm going to make that complaint again, so sorry if you're hearing this multiple times. And yeah, I guess that's it. So let me know down below your thoughts. Otherwise, I hope you had a good time in my basement today. I'll see you in the next one, and if you get the chance, like and subscribe. It's always helpful. See you later.